Hey guys, welcome back to the channel on another video for the build series on my 2021 Road Glide Special. Today we are going to be replacing the shift linkage, this old ball and cup style shift linkage that Harley provides stock, with the Stalker shift linkage from the folks over at Joker Machine. This has hind joints instead of that ball and cup. So let me grab my stuff and I will see you after the break. All right, let's get started, because I know that Kid Moto 22, every time he sees a picture of my bike, he's probably vomiting because he's got like this OCD about these shitty shift linkages that they put on the bikes. So we're going to black this one out with the Stalker shift linkage from Joker Machine. The first thing we need to do is remove the one that's on the bike, and that's only going to require two tools. It will require a 7/16 spanner for this nut that's right there. And then you'll also need the 7/16 for the nut that's back on the back side of this, and a 1/2 inch at the same time for this acorn nut. So this front piece takes 2 wrenches to pull that off. The back only needs 1. So let me go ahead and remove that real quick. You want to be careful with this too, because these fins on that engine are super sharp. If you're not careful, you will definitely cut the top of your finger. So I'm going to be a little gentle and slow here to get this thing broke loose. Okay, there's the back. Now we're going to get the front. Now I'm going to save this acorn nut and washer on the front here. So I might want to reuse that. So there you go. One of the reasons that I want to replace this, just besides the fact that it just looks kind of shitty like that, is the fact that when my friend Blackline recently bought a new bike, she bought a Road King, an anniversary Road King, and we went out to celebrate. We were going to lunch up in Gettysburg, and I don't know, we were a few miles down the road, and suddenly I noticed that she was looking down at her foot, and we pulled over because this little ball and cup joint on her shift linkage had just worn out. And I guess that's a common thing with this type of a joint. So we definitely want to replace this just to get the, a hind joint type of a linkage in place. So let's take this over to the table, and we'll start setting up the new shift linkage. So here we have the Stalker shift linkage from Joker Machine, the stock one. The hardware that came with the Stalker, it's these two. I didn't realize this, but the heads on these bolts, you'll need a 3/16 Allen when we go to put this on to tighten these bolts. And a little blue Loctite as well. So the first thing that you want to do with a linkage, if you haven't put a shift linkage on before, then these aftermarkets all kind of work the same way. You can adjust the length. Whoops, here we go. Right, of the total length of the linkage by loosening and tightening these hind joints, and then you lock it in place by turning that nut. So what we want to do is just kind of use the stock as a guide to get the new one about the same length. And then once we get it on the bike, we can adjust it if we need to. But I think I'm already right about where I need to be with this one. But if we need to, we can make some adjustments once we get it on the bike. The first thing we're going to do is go ahead and attach the rear back here. That way that I can push back on that to get the front one in a little easier than if you did the front one first. So we're going to take the bolt that came with the Stalker. Put a little blue Loctite on it. And I'm going to thread this through this rear hind joint. Go to the front of the lever back here. Oops, let me get that in. Swap that ratchet out for just a Allen key. Take a little longer, but actually, you know what? All right, not a lot of room to work here, but I think this will work. And come back and torque that down later. Okay, that's good and tight for now, then I'll torque that down later. Okay, for the front piece up here, I'm going to use the hardware that came with the Stalker instead of that acorn nut that was up there. But I am going to use the washer that was behind the acorn nut because this joint is going to go behind that arm. You got to pull back to get that lined up. So this nut that came with the Stalker takes a 1/2 inch wrench. So we'll put that on here. Oops, put that on the wrong side. Go this way. Okay, that's in. So now I just need to test and make sure that I've got the right length on that so that the gears shift okay, and then I can use these nuts in the hind joints if I need to take it off to kind of tighten it and make it a better fit. But that's so I'm going to test that out now, but that's what it'll look like when it's finished and I get it dialed in. I think that looks a lot better than the stock one. What do you think? So thanks again to the guys out at Joker Machine for sending me all the stuff that I put on the bike. This Road Glide is coming together just as I had pictured, and certainly the folks over at Joker Machine were a big help in making that vision come to life. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, I'd appreciate it if you would consider hitting that subscribe button. As always, if you like the content, please hit the thumbs up on the video. It makes a huge difference. And I will see you on the next video. Peace.